Giants have earned long-awaited chance to now play meaningful games. Healthy Odell Beckham set to visit Giants, Cowboys, Bills. Per report, speak Giants fans, we are in the fight to bring you news of the New York Giants every day. Always stay up to date with the latest New York Giants news. If you're like us, you carry the New York Giants in your heart. Help us to keep the channel always with the best news. All we ask is your free collaboration. Together we are strong. Then help us meet the goals of the New York Giants news channel. Come on, Giants! Just subscribe to the channel and activate the bell and enjoy the videos so we keep the channel active and always bringing news about our team. We count on you, Giants. Without further ado, let's go to today's news. Giants have earned long-awaited chance to now play meaningful games. The Giants have earned this. The next time they take the field, it will be December, and that Week 13 game against the Commanders will be oozing with importance and implications. There will be none of the manufactured motivation of years past, playing for pride, or a better draft choice, or to save the job of a head coach, or to achieve some statistical achievement. The Giants are still playing to get into the postseason. They are squarely in the playoff mix in the NFC, despite currently being the proprietors of their first two-game losing streak of 2022, getting dominated by the Lions in Week 11, then overwhelmed in the second half by the Cowboys on Thanksgiving are body blows that stung and staggered the Giants, but did not knock them out. At present, there is cause for concern, but all that good work and all that late-game execution in September and October has not been wiped away because November was a downer. This is a rare weekend off for the Giants. In past years, the arrival of winter and the holidays ushered in the tune "'Tis the season for more folly," with all the lousy football that turned the stretch run into four-quarter ordeals that had to be undertaken because the schedule does not allow for early withdrawals. Yes, the Giants went from 7-2 to 7-4, and that downward tilt needs to get straightened out. The record does not look as gaudy as it once did, but as the Giants sat out the weekend while Week 12 continued with the full slate of games, there were just 3 teams in their conference with better records: the Eagles 9-1, Vikings 9-2, and Cowboys 8-3. There are worse places to be than where the Giants are. I mean, certainly, the whole season obviously is in front of you right now. Head coach Brian Daboll said, "We have a long way to go. Obviously, the rest of December here and the early part of January. So, we have to focus on getting ready to play Washington, but you're sitting at 7-4. You put yourself in a position to play meaningful games in December, which is important." Daboll pointed out that last season, when he was the offensive coordinator in Buffalo, the Bills were 7-6 after 13 games. "Look, anything can happen in this league," he said. "I've said it before, it's a humbling league. You can be on the top of the mountain one week and fall off the next week." The Bills, in 2021, were saddled with a 2-game losing streak before they won their last 4 regular season games, rolled over the Patriots in a wild card game, and hooked up with the Chiefs in a divisional round clash that turned into an instant classic. Buffalo lost 42-36 in overtime in a game that featured 25 combined points in the final 2 minutes of regulation. The late season surge unquestionably made Daboll a more attractive head coach prospect. The Giants hired Joe Schoen to lead the franchise as the general manager. Schoen, having seen Daboll's approach and handiwork in Buffalo, summoned Daboll to steer the Giants ship. Daboll is certainly in the discussion for NFL Coach of the Year. He has cajoled 7 wins in the first 9 games out of a roster that most observers believed incapable of attaining 7 wins all season. That was then. This is now. What comes next represents Daboll's greatest challenge: 2 games against the Commanders, 2 against the Eagles, 1 against the Vikings on Christmas Eve in Minneapolis, and 1 at home against the Colts, the only remaining opponent barely on the fringe of playoff positioning. The Giants are 0-2 in the NFC East, the Cowboys showing their superiority in meetings in late September and late November. Coaching matters, especially inside the division in 2-game season series. Obviously, the Giants cannot get swept by the Commanders. Ideally, they do not want to get swept by the Eagles. Daboll has done more with less. Now he has to do more with what he has. At least his injury-riddled team is getting healthier. "The players that we have in our roster, we're confident in," Daboll said. "It's our job to try to put them in the best positions we can. Certainly, we can do a better job at that. And trust the players that we have. We've all been in this league a long time. There's no excuses. Everybody goes through injuries or losses, things like that. You come back. You stay mentally strong. You look at the things you need to fix. You stay consistent with your approach, with improvement tournament in mind. You own what you didn't do well, and you move on to the next week. Healthy Odell Beckham set to visit Giants, Cowboys, Bills. Per report, Odell Beckham Jr. is finally ready to begin official visits with teams after rehabbing his reconstructed left knee for the past 9 months. According to NFL Network's Ian Rappaport, Beckham is scheduled to meet with the Giants, Cowboys, and Bills over the next week or so. The veteran wide receiver will begin his mini free agency tour on Thursday as he visits New York first. Beckham, the number 12 pick in the first round of the 2014 NFL Draft, played his first 5 pro seasons with the Giants before they traded him to Cleveland. From there, Beckham is expected to visit Dallas on December 5th and the Bills on an unspecified date. Rappaport reports that other teams could still get involved, but those were the only 3 teams to set up a visit so far. Members of the Giants, Cowboys, Bills, Rams, and Chiefs have publicly courted Beckham, but the veteran has stood firm in waiting until he was ready to play before making a decision. Finally, it seems as though Beckham is healthy. According to Rappaport, Beckham is fully cleared from his torn ACL and has been working to get back into football shape. While it may take him some time to adjust to his new team, he should be ready to contribute in some capacity once he signs. Last year, Beckham's late signing with the Rams helped pave the way for a Super Bowl win, and the wide receiver is hoping he can repeat that success this year. Odell Beckham Jr. is coming to East Rutherford this week. He won't be staying, and it remains to be seen if he'll be returning to celebrate a reunion with the Giants. For now, all we know is that Beckham has scheduled a visit with his former team. It will take place Thursday and continue into Friday, according to Ian Rappaport of the NFL Network. As of 2 weeks ago, the Giants are the 3rd betting choice behind the Cowboys and Bills to sign Beckham, who has spent this season rehabilitating a torn anterior cruciate ligament in his left leg. He sustained the injury for a second time during the Los Angeles Rams Super Bowl victory over the Cincinnati Bengals in February. Beckham had surgery on February 22nd and has spent this season teasing the entire NFL about where he will play next. The Giants, of course, have been a surprise playoff contender this season despite having many issues at the wide receiver position. Beckham, the 12th overall pick in the 2014 draft by the Giants, had 4 1,000-yard receiving seasons in 5 years with the team. He also scored 44 touchdowns, including 35 in his first 3 seasons. He was an All-Pro as a rookie and second-team All-Pro the following 2 seasons. Beckham's last 1,000-yard season was in 2019, his first year with the Cleveland Browns after being traded by former Giants general manager Dave Gettleman. The former LSU star did show he still had plenty left in the tank last season after he was waived by the Browns and signed by the Rams. In 8 games with Los Angeles, he caught 27 passes for 305 yards and 5 touchdowns, then followed that up with 21 catches for 288 yards and 2 touchdowns in the postseason. The veteran receiver obviously has some close friends in East Rutherford, including Sterling Shepard and star running back Saquon Barkley. And so, let the courting begin. Will the New York Giants bounce back from 2 straight losses? Odell Beckham Jr., will he finally come home? Leave your opinion below, we want to know. For today, it's just until the next Giants.